Alrighty, hi folks. We are currently sitting in my bedroom on my bed because I want to give you guys an update on something pretty big, and I think this is kind of a starting place for us to do that. So for those of you who have followed my channel, you know that I have for the past few months been dating someone. Things are getting pretty serious, and we have made the decision that we are going to move in together. And that being said, I will be moving in with her and her daughter in a city that is about 45 minutes away from Boise. In the end of August is our time frame. And so right when I'm starting school, we're both in the middle of a transition of job and like trying to figure out life together. And so it's just kind of like a time for us to go through it together, and either it's going to work out really, really well, which we both think it is, or it's going to fall apart and we will know that it's not meant to be. But we're both to that point where we're like, we want this to be a thing, and if it's not a thing, then we're not going to waste any more time. And that's not the reason that we're moving in together. We both want to move in together. We both decided that we would be moving in together if she didn't have a daughter. And so we're trying to essentially do a slide-in move where I'm going to be moving in like gradually over essentially the month of July and August until I'm full-time there, just so that it's a better adjustment for the daughter and for all of us, including Jackson, because he is a big part of this as well. So that being said, it means that what am I going to do with my house? Because I bought my house in 2020, May of 2020. So exactly, essentially 4 years ago, almost 4 years and a month ago. And I have been paying down a lot of money on this. We owe just over $180-something thousand on my mortgage. I realized that I have a sweat mustache. Sorry, I was out mowing the lawn before I did this because I wasn't going to do this today. But then I decided, since we're starting like stuff tomorrow, I really wanted to do it before we started anything. And so I kind of had a conversation with myself and did some research on what I wanted to do with the house, because I owe over $180,000 on it. The market adjustments just came in for like $326,000 on it. So if I sold it right now, I would be walking away with probably, like $100,000 cash, which is really good. That's a fair amount of money. But my interest rate is 3.26, and if I were to try and buy a house again, say something, it doesn't work out with my girlfriend, I would not be able to get that interest rate anytime, anywhere right now, let alone would somebody probably lend to me. It was essentially a miracle of over a year and a half plus waiting to find the right house. So the idea that I'm going to be able to find another house in Boise to purchase is unlikely. And so there's a big risk with that. So even though it would be $100,000 cash and I could invest that and make money from my stock portfolio, it is the opportunity cost of not potentially having a house. And when I bought this house, the idea was that I was eventually going to turn it into a rental anyways, because it is such a great location in the city. I mean, it's 10 minutes from Boise State, 10 minutes from the hospital, 10 minutes from the other hospital. Like, you can get anywhere in about 10, 15, 20 minutes, depending which direction you're going. And it's like just fantastic. There's a bus stop just out the way, close to Walmart and Lowe's and Costco, all the things. So it is actually just like a really good location in a quiet neighborhood, and I don't want to get rid of this house. So that being said, the other option is to do a long-term rental, which would mean selling all of my belongings and renting this house unfurnished to a long-term renter, and going through that whole process, which I like the idea of. It's less work, less money, less risky, but I have to sell all my stuff. And I'm moving quite a bit of my stuff to my girlfriend's house because she has her own 3-bedroom place. But there's a lot of things like all the dishes, the silverware, the cooking stuff, the lawn stuff. Like every time I use something, like the vacuum, I go, oh, this is something else that I would have to sell. And so, hold on, my phone alarm is going off to move the water. Pause it, because we're in the middle of something important here. And I'm watering the lawn. Anyways, back into our conversation here. So, the idea essentially became, well, I know, hi Jackson, that because I am so close to the hospital, and I worked at the hospital, that they have a ton of travel nurses. And travel nurses come in for, 4 to 6 to 12 weeks at a time on a contract, and they typically rent a place and stay there for the duration of the contract, and then they move on and someone else does essentially rents the place. My brother did that when he was doing clinical rotations, and they want a furnished house, and so that is more of like a midterm rental where it stays furnished and you rent it out to people, and it's super close to both hospitals in the area, so it makes it a great possibility for that. And then there's Airbnb and there is VRBO, which are both furnished short-term house rentals. And both of those would be great options as well. More risky than renting out to long-term tenants and midterm tenants because there's more risk involved and more work involved, hence a higher cost for all of that. And I'll do a breakdown later, not in this video, but a later breakdown of kind of the cost analysis, what I'm looking at for all those different options. So all that being said, I have made the decision, after talking with my girlfriend and family and friends, that I will be doing a midterm rental of my house. That's going to be my primary focus. A family with a dog potentially, and going to focus on that. And then fill in with Airbnb and VRBO on the side and just fill in the gaps that may come and just kind of try and build a little business out of that with my house. That being said, I am not the most decorative person. I am kind of like an old soul, and I just like, does it work? Cool. Like, I like old things. I have old taste. I'm an old person at heart. I do word searches, and it's just one of those things. So my sister-in-law has stepped up. She's very good in decorating and redoing her house and all the things. And she's going to help me turn my house into a furnished rental house. And that is what essentially the purpose of the video is, to show you guys the before of what my house looks right now and our process of turning it into a rental home and what that looks like and all the costs that are going into that, because it is expensive. It would be more expensive if you bought just a house and then we're turning into a rental, because I already have some things and that makes it a lot nicer. But definitely, thank you, Jackson. Definitely a ton of work is going to go into this house. Thank you, Jackson. You're so cute. I know you want all the pets. So, without further ado, let's show you the beginning. Thank you, Jackson. The beginning stage of my house pre-rental flip. And just kind of talk you through it. So let's start with my bedroom, because that's where we're at. So let's do this. Alright, so we have my bedroom. We have maps on the wall of places that I've traveled, one of my own photography photographs, my cheap bedspread, dog pillows, my rinky-dink collection of stuff. The fan we added a couple years ago because it was super hot. New closet doors that I installed. And this, blanket rack. But the idea is to keep essentially the color in this room the same, change out the bedspread, leave the bed, new dresser, nightstands, all that stuff. But that's kind of the idea for this room. And then we enter the hallway, which is going to stay the same, and go to the bathroom. The idea with the bathroom is to essentially change the color and redo the tile in here. We might do a total shower insert. I don't know if you can see it very well. I have not cleaned for this, by the way, because it has leaked water in the bottom and we have molding coming through. So the idea is either to tile this whole thing or to put in a big insert. I still have to do a cost analysis on that. And then paint this wall cream, kind of like the hallway and the living room, but leave essentially the vanity and all the goods in here. Then we go to my office, which, sorry, I have not cleaned. This color was essentially the same as when I bought it, and I didn't really do anything because I actually kind of like this color. Not a good renting color, though. So the idea is to essentially scrap this entire room, paint the closet doors, leave this right here, potentially one of the bookcases, and leave some books with it. But the rest of this is going to go to my office at my girlfriend's house. including my desk because I've had this thing for years, and then paint this room a cream color as well, and put a full-size bed in it, nightstand, all the things, and this would be a second bedroom. Then we have the living room, which is going to change a little bit. This guy is coming with me. This is an old antique that my great-great-grandfather made. But we're essentially going to try and leave everything the same in here. And by that I mean the couch, because I want it stays. My sister-in-law thinks the chair should go. The lamp should go. The end tables don't match at all. They were gifted to me by my friend, by my sister-in-law, my other sister-in-law. Hi, Jackson. The picture, which I really like. I mean, it's just a beautiful picture. You can't see because of the glare. Ooh, kind of. Nope. Yeah, it's just a beautiful picture. And essentially the rug, because the rug is disgusting. So change out the rug, a coffee table right here, a chair for the corner, a nightstand, which an end table I should say, which I've already gotten. Clean this up a bit, and it's going to be good to go. Excuse me. And then we go into the kitchen, and the fridge is going to stay, the oven is going to stay, the microwave is going to stay, but apparently in the 4 years that I've lived here, no one has mentioned to me how they do not like the color of my cabinets. And I chose this color when I first moved in because it's a brown color and a brown and blue, and I painted it brown and blue, and no one likes it. So the idea is to paint these cabinets green. And I'll show you because I have the color right here. We want to go... And this is called Canadian Fur, in case you're wondering. We're going to go this color on the cabinets, because my sister-in-law says to. And then we're going to bring in a smaller kitchen table for here, and paint the walls cream. So a lot of painting, cabinets, walls. Jackson. And then for the gym, it's a disaster right now. I know. Don't mind it. We are going to take out the third front door, add a support beam right here, you can see the crack, and leave the elliptical, take the bike, leave the piano, paint this whole section white after we redo the siding and put everything in. There's all my paint, $270 worth of paint right here. Take out this guy, leave... We're not even going to touch the storage area right now. Leave the punching bag, take my bike with me, and then essentially turn this room from a gym into a very smaller gym with a foosball table and the kitchen table into a game room. We'll put a couch and then a TV and a TV stand, and just kind of have this be a big hangout room with some cool artwork and the piano and some workout equipment. And then the backyard, I'll show you. The deck is terrible. Long-term plan is to turn this into a patio so it has less upkeep, but we are a while away from that. So I bought paint, and I'm going to scrape all of this paint off and then paint it brown. And then essentially we got some new patio furniture over here, some used new patio furniture, and I'm going to try and turn these darker and fix this table and put them up, and then essentially leave it like that. But yeah, there's just a ton of work to do on this house, and we have about 2 months to do it before my goal is to have this up and running as a functioning rental house. Sorry, I'll wait till I get inside because we're going through a weird transition. But essentially my idea is to have this house up and running, switched, painted, sanded, decorated, all the good fixins by Labor Day this year, Labor Day weekend I should say, so the very end of August into September. Start renting this sucker out and making some money, because we're putting a lot of money into it right now to fix it up and turn it into a short-term rental, mid-term rental hopefully. And so we're hoping to have a 2-month turnaround time. I don't know it's gonna be so much work because there's a lot of painting and moving and sorting and organizing, and the front yard I'm also gonna try and do. I gotta paint the front door and the back door and do some yard work, and it's just a lot. It's been a little bit overwhelming, honestly, because my sister-in-law has been so excited about it. She's been sending me things on Facebook Marketplace and talking to me, and she gave me all those decorations in there to kind of do a look through. Right now we're thinking we're going to do an old farmhouse type of style vibe thing. So going for like dark wood, stained wood type things. Just because I already have a lot of brown in my house, and so brown green is kind of the theme we're going for. And then I'll leave the blue in my run room so it's not all just, you know, what it is. But that is where we're at right now. Tomorrow, excuse me, I got grass in my throat for a moment. Tomorrow we are starting on the cabinets. My girlfriend is going to help me take them down, sand them, and get the process to start them getting painted, because they are going to take forever. And then in the meantime, I'm going to start working on sorting my office and getting that space ready to paint, bring in the full-size bed that my girlfriend is giving for this project, and just kind of turning that room into it first, and then kind of going from there. So, goodness. But yeah, that is my big update. Fingers crossed it works. I will do another video that details why I chose to do what I did on a financial level that goes into more detail. I'm dying. Woo! But we're going to call it on that. And I'm going to drink some water and not die. And I will check in with you on the next video and update you on how this house project / rental is going. So, toodles, guys. Good to do.